Well, in keeping with the real-time, real-life assertion that politics is nothing more than a WWE show under the big top coming out of Washington's District of Criminals, Donald Trump has now tapped Vince McMahon's wife. That's right, Vince McMahon from the World Wrestling Entertainment world. When Trump was the star of a reality show, The Apprentice, he made an appearance on WrestleMania 2007. The billionaire entertainment mogul participated in an elaborately scripted feud that ended up with Trump shaving off Vince McMahon's hair in the middle of the ring. So Vince McMahon's wife has been tapped to be the education secretary for the United States. You would think that we were sitting on the set of Idiocracy and The Twilight Zone and the Beverly Hillbillies all at once. It's just a crazy, crazy circus show going on. And not just Vince McMahon's wife, but he has also tapped Mehmet Oz, the reality doctor Mehmet Oz, to be the lead for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. President-elect Donald Trump announced Tuesday that heart surgeon turned TV host Dr. Mehmet Oz would lead the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And here's what Trump said in a statement right here. Listen closely. America is facing a healthcare crisis, and there may be no physician more qualified and capable than Dr. Oz to make America healthy again. He is an eminent physician, heart surgeon, inventor, and world-class communicator who has been at the forefront of healthy living for decades. What is Dr. Oz all about? Let me just give you a real quick run through and snippet what this guy is all about. Back in 2022, and this is from Jack Posobiec, Dr. Oz on the CCP's brutal lockdown in Wuhan, quote, this is Dr. Oz. We have a copy of what they, China, did, take their blueprint and repeat it here in this country. And of course, Jack Posobiec is pro Donald Trump. Donald Trump has picked Mehmet Oz to head up Medicare, Medicaid. And let me just take you back a couple years on Dr. Oz's show and show you exactly what he hosted, platformed, and promoted. Listen to this.
Let's meet a family living with that very question every day. Vanessa's here with her daughter, Josie. Welcome to the show. Vanessa, your husband, Joseph, is in the military. He's not able to join us today.
Correct.
You know, early on, you probably had a sense that Josie was different. And when did you recognize that Josie was transgender?
Now, let me just stop here for a second, okay? Because with little to no pushback, and it seems basically passing the baton of the trans world into the future, Dr. Mehmet Oz seems to have promoted it. Now, what do you think about that? What do you think about somebody taking a high position within Washington's District of Criminals, being tapped by Trump to head up Medicare and Medicaid? And I just want to remind you that Dr. Oz likes to hang out with Marina Spirit Cooking Abramovich. What do you think about that? I mean, can you tell a lot from a guy by the company that he keeps? Let's listen to just a little bit more of this.
It was during a regular well baby exam. The pediatrician was looking at her. He got really quiet and just sort of watched her for a while. And he brought up a term, gender identity disorder. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, what's that?
Excuse me, you just believed him? I mean, you're talking about a little baby for a well baby checkup, and the doctor just pulled that out of the hat, and you believed him, and you went in the direction that that doctor guided you on? Why? Why?
He said, you know, like transgender. I was like, could you spell that for me? I had no idea what he was saying.
That's when you learned about it.
That is.
How are you, Josie?
Good.
She has a lot of spark to her, I gotta say.
She does indeed.
She has a lot of spark to her, says Mehmet Oz.
Do you remember when your parents thought you were a boy?
A little bit.
Talk to me about that a little bit. What do you remember?
thought you were? Do you remember when your parents thought you were? Seriously, what do you think about this? Are you entirely comfortable with this? I mean, we haven't even scratched the surface with this guy.
Like, how did it make you feel when I used to take you and get your hair cut off at the barbershop on base?
It made me very angry.
You did not like your haircut. Why not?
Because I'm a girl, not a boy.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that Mehmet Oz platformed and promoted. And now we've got this guy taking a high position thanks to Donald J. Trump. But you know, voting matters. And voting doesn't dehumanize and demoralize you. It matters a great deal. They pour tons of money into getting you to the vote. Mainstream media pulls out all the propaganda stops to get you to vote. And then when you do vote, you vote for a person. You're not voting for a policy. You're not voting for a promise. You're not voting for a position. You're voting for a person to get into a position. And when that person gets into that position and they do evil, it is done with your consent. The appointment of Mehmet Oz is with your consent, whether you currently like it or not. The appointment of a WWE professional. We are talking about, guys, World Wrestling Entertainment. They are professional liars. You can't rival being the professional liar on a political spectrum unless you go to WWE. We've constantly talked about this being the WWE dog and pony sideshow under the big top. And I don't know if you guys saw the Netflix special highlighting Vince McMahon, but on the 6th episode, the first 10 minutes, a lady said something very interesting. She said, with Donald Trump in the White House, we now have the wrestlification of Washington, D.C. And that's exactly what it is. And people fall into this trap and they sink themselves and cement themselves in a cognitive dissonance. They lock themselves in their own echo chamber and they can't possibly give proper criticism to Donald Trump. They have no standing to give him proper criticism because they can't even criticize themselves. They can't even discern themselves that maybe I should not be participating in the evil system that is controlled by the RNC and DNC, which is controlled by the corporate oligarchs and media elites and bankster elites. Maybe I should do something different instead of doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And mainstream media doesn't bat an eye about this. President Trump announced Tuesday night that he intends to appoint Linda McMahon, former CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, to lead the Department of Education. Kind of fitting, huh? It's kind of fitting. It's ironic and it's fitting all at the same time. His announcement, which was posted on Truth Social, came hours after two sources told Fox News that McMahon was likely to be picked. It's my great honor, Donald Trump says, to announce that Linda McMahon, former administrator of the Small Business Administration, will be the United States Secretary of Education. Isn't one of the departments that he's supposed to be eliminated the Department of Education? As Secretary of Education, Trump says, Linda will fight tirelessly to expand choice to every state in America and empower parents to make the best education decisions for their families. Linda served for 2 years on the Connecticut Board of Education, where she was one of 15 members overseeing all public education in the state, including its technical high school system. McMahon, who served as administrator of the Small Business Administration in the first Trump administration, is the wife of Vince McMahon. Linda will use her decades of leadership experience and deep understanding of both education and business to empower the next generation of American students and workers and make America number one in education in the world. We will send education back to the states, and Linda will spearhead that effort. WWE Dog and Pony Show under the big top, the left versus right paradigm lie where all the clowns come out to try to distract, deceive, divide, dehumanize, and demoralize you. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. I will try to work on that website and get more stuff on there. I really appreciate you guys joining me. Remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance, and indifference to that notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. Stop securing your own oppression and start today. I will see you in the next video.